Hi, it's Nicholas on Film. Today I will be reviewing The Marvels, starring Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, who, if I am not incorrect, used to be a male. I do know that they have a DVD or Blu-ray of a serial type movie or something from the 1940s or 50s, like Buck Rogers type thing, and that's definitely a guy. And I also remember from what I've seen of the comics, not that I've read them, that it was also a guy. Okay, so this time the movie hits the ground running. You're on the moon type thing. A lot of species you don't necessarily recognize. If I was to say what the movie reminded me of, at the start, I'd say that Green Lantern movie, which I never fully watched, and I don't think a lot of people did. Ryan Reynolds. But thankfully, the movie grounds itself fairly soon and begins to have a similar feel to the original, released a few years back. Only this time without so many 90s pop songs, which sometimes felt a little out of place in the previous one. But it definitely was a consistent feel, which is always fun in a movie. So I think that they were inspired probably by Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's good that they stuck with a specific time frame, it seems like. So it wasn't like completely all over the place. But at the same time, I like how this movie is kind of chiseling out its own identity separate from that, which is what would be needed if it was to continue as a regular type series and storyline. Nowadays, we don't have Stan Lee. I'm pretty sure he was predominant in the background on the previous one. So it's a little wobbly on whether things are going to maintain momentum or not. But I think this is a good start. And if enough people watch it and care about it, I know the actors and actresses and behind the scenes people did, it could continue on and turn into something new and interesting, which is what would be needed, because you can't keep mimicking someone from the past who isn't around to facilitate his opinion anymore. So we can remember, but at the same time, we got to move forward. So that's what this movie seems to be doing. After the moon type sequence, we're in a bedroom, and there's lots of drawings, and there's some funny animation bits where you're actually seeing the drawings move, which is how the person who drew them imagined them before jotting them on paper or after. And then we pull back and then we see it's a teenage girl. She's a light-skinned Indian type girl, and she's a big, huge fan of Captain Marvel, the star of the previous movie, who we haven't been introduced to yet. Soon after, we are introduced to Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, and then at a certain point, there's this time momentum jump when she uses her powers, and then this young teenage girl finds out that she has powers too. If they use them at the same time, they end up switching places from their different parallel universes. And then so all of a sudden, instead of Captain Marvel, it's the teenage girl, and instead of the teenage girl, it's Captain Marvel. They swap spots. So that's kind of how they get to introduce to each other, and soon they're in the same universe. And then the girl can't fathom that she's actually standing next to Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel says her name, and she's like almost faints. But then they find out she's a natural, because she's just such a huge fan that she just fits right in. The details were a little hazy, but there's some angry female who's the antagonist, and it has something to do with some arm cuff link that gives them really strong powers, and I know the Indian girl gets one of them, but it has this deal where when Captain Marvel, when she shoots her beams or whatever at this lady, she absorbs the energy into her cufflink, and it ends up empowering her, and she's like twice as strong. So it's like it makes it really difficult to fight her, because like the more you fight her, the tougher she gets. I'm not sure exactly why she's so mad and angry, but she is, and she keeps popping up. And whenever she does, it takes the three of them, it seems, to keep her subdued. We did a really good job with the fight sequences. Whenever they happened, they were outrageous. People flying through, breaking chunks off the walls. The newer actress, the younger girl, she's always surprised that her powers are as powerful as they are. And there's a good bit where I can't remember who, but someone tells her to use her scarf. They're in a big, like, a war scene, like lots of fighting, lots of people, and she pulls out her scarf, and it turns out it's like, I don't know if the scarf has like powers or she's just wielding it like with her powers, but she starts using the scarf, and it's basically like Indiana Jones' whip, and it's like anyone who goes near her like feels the wrath of the scarf. And she like grabs around their ankles, flipping them up in the air, hits them in the face with the scarf. It's like as it goes, it snaps, and it's like becomes a deadly weapon. So I like that. And then she has an armband too that has powers, and I can't remember if it can shoot. I know it absorbs stuff. So it's like the villainess in the movie. It's like she's just. I'd honestly have to watch the movie again to know all the motivations precisely, but she wants that armband back, and she's doing anything she can to get it. So I remember there's a shocking bit where she ends up, she has this glowing axe type thing, and she like knocks the Indian girl on the ground, and then she like takes the axe and swings it, and like stops right on her head and is like weighing it down on her, and the girl's freaking out. And it was like, wow, that's a little further than I thought I'd take it. It's like I'm actually concerned about her, and she wants that armband back, so she gets it right there. There's a really dramatic scene towards the latter part of the movie. I don't know how much I want to spoil it. I don't even know if I'll keep this talking bit in here. We'll see. But they put like these, I don't know, they're not like black holes, but like tears in the fabric of space that like basically it's like a portal to another universe. So it's like, it's cool because it's just like the blackness of space, and it's just like this tear in it, and it's like, it looks tiny, but it's like glowing. And it's like, but at the same time it's dangerous because it's like leading to a whole other universe, like on the other side of it. So like one of them is like, they send her, the other African American girl, to go and repair the pair or seal it. But in order to do that, she has to like go inside of it for some reason. And then so they're watching her from the spaceship, and then it's like taking all of her powers to like seal it. And then she's like resigned to her fate somehow. It's like she realizes, and they do too, that in order to seal it, like she has to use every bit of her energy, and she won't have enough left to like exit the tear. So it's like she'll have to seal herself within and be trapped in another universe. So like it gets really emotional because she says, she's like, I always felt that this would happen, which I don't know, is like weird. Like she's like a depressant or whatever human, and then Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, she's like, no, you'll be trapped or whatever, and she just like instantly flies out there like as fast as she can. And she's like zooming, and there's like glowing space dust that like against her. She's flying there, and the girl's like trying to finish sealing it off. So it's like, she gonna make it? And then she gets there. And I guess I don't want to spoil it, but it gets pretty dramatic. So this is towards the conclusion of the movie. So the movie's good at that. It goes from the comedy fun bits, and then like the fighting war scenes, and these really powerful dramatic scenes. That's what Marvel can do, and I guess any good graphic novel movie can do. So yeah, it delivers on that front. Female director, female star, female writers. Reminds me of the Birds of Prey movie, which was better than I expected. And this movie was better than I expected as well. It seemed like the running time was short. I'm used to these like 2.5 hour run times, even though they're bloated and too much and they need someone to take scissors to them. So when I saw this had like an hour and 45-minute run time, I was like, is this a real movie? When in the old days that was almost considered long, because there were a lot of 90-minute movies. There were 75-minute movies before. So I was just like, is this just gonna just start and stop or whatever? But as the movie was going, I was like, it feels like a movie. It's not the number that matters. It's the sequence of events, and it's the connection that you have with it. The time is irrelevant. It's the way that the movie draws you in and then eases you in and then eases you out. And so yeah, it was a movie. It doesn't need a 2-hour runtime. In fact, those 2-hour runtimes, they're probably a little too much when it's like requirement, it seems, on every, especially superhero movies. You know, it's like these are in and out movies, popcorn movies. They're not Lawrence of Arabia or The Great Escape. You know, these are have fun, you know, sit down and walk away and feel a little better. But yeah, had some giggles, some dramatic bits, but you know, it's not like the most heavy, serious, like world-changing topics, art on screen that had previously existed. So I like the run time here, and I wouldn't mind seeing more movies like that. So it's good that someone's doing it. But anyways, so that's my review of the Marvels. So that's Nicholas on Film. And until next time, over and out.